Yo, welcome to day 64 of documenting the business journey. So, I don't remember exactly what I said in yesterday's video, day 63, but on day 63, I had work the following morning, and so I had work this morning. But last night I was trying to figure out app promotion campaigns. I told myself I was gonna do it tomorrow, but I did quite a bit of it last night. And what I did last night was I went into the test events section of both Facebook and TikTok, and I figured it all out. It was tough. I gave all the context to the assistant, which was very, very helpful and would have probably, made the process like 2 days, less than it would have been if I didn't use the agent. But I basically told the agent, like, hey, this is kind of what we're doing. Can you help me out here? Just make sure that the events run properly. I swear to you, today, I probably ran the build on my phone like 30 times. I made 18 different accounts just today, just like testing the app. I figured out exactly the bugs, the little bugs and the little imperfections that I currently have inside of the app that need to be fixed. And I kind of have an idea for why everything is where it is right now. Also, I currently still have one creator that I'm paying every single week $25 to promote the app. The bio, they have the link to the app in their bio currently, and I think it's bringing me a few people every other day maybe, so it's not bad. But he is from Austria, so like the majority, if not like half of his audience is Austrian and does not really speak English. And which I didn't see that because the video that I shared to myself to DM to myself was, English. It was American, But then I started looking through the comments to make sure that the engagement was high. And I was like, okay, like we already signed him and he doesn't have a whole bunch of comments per video. And even then, most of his comments and most of his people that are like watching his videos are Austrian. I couldn't imagine like Austrian people on the app. I don't know. I just want English American people first, if anything. Obviously, I want to be global. I want to take as much as I can out of that, slice of the pie of the world. But, I don't even know if I can promote to Austria because of my trader restrictions right now. So I need to get that updated so that I can actually have the app to everybody, not just like the US and like a few other countries. But anyways, so that's kind of the situation with that creator right now. He's not bad. He's 11K. He's posting 5 videos a week, and I'm paying him $25. So just imagine that. I'm getting a fitness creator with 11,000 followers to post 5 videos, like promoting my app every week. That's $5 a video, 11K. Like, he's not showing his, the app in the video, but he's, in the link in bio, he's, track your calories and your meals with Calorie Simple. And so, it's definitely doing something, and I'm proud of it, to be honest. So, at this point, today I got those campaigns, finally kind of working. The events were sending, and I was not going to half-ass anything. I could have just stopped right as the event started, and I could have just been like, okay, app stalls and the app launch is good enough. I don't need to do any more. But I was like, dude, I know that doing less and stopping right here and shortcutting things is never the answer. So I was like, dude, I really don't want to do this right now. But what I did was I went back in, and even my assistant was convincing me like, yo, we don't need to do this right now. It's probably just a whole bunch of debugging that we might as well just do it later. And I was like, no, we need to get the complete registration events firing. We need to get the purchase events firing, make sure everything's set up properly. And I will give the agent a little bit of credit, because when I started to move from Facebook to TikTok events during the process this morning, I started testing Facebook events, and I just looked over at TikTok when it was about time for me to switch, and TikTok was already sending events. So TikTok was basically good. And then I was like, okay, let me just complete the little extra custom conversions over here on Facebook. And then I came back to TikTok, and there was no events. They just disappeared. And so I was like, what the heck? And so me and my assistant worked together to verify that, everything was working correctly and I should be getting events. And I tried with my phone to get events 5 different times. scanning a little QR code. They tell you to scan to authorize your device, you know, making sure that the assistant had a good idea of what the console was saying so that it can make changes and adjust properly. And, and I was still like, after that, what ended up happening was it was like, I don't know, it was at this point probably like 1:30 p.m. after lunch. And I was like, okay, like, let's keep going. And then the assistant was like, okay, so as you can see, the TikTok console events and like that they're being sent. The only issue is that they're being flushed, and I think it was because like TikTok wasn't really conversating well at that time with that network to the actual app. So basically, what my assistant was telling me was like, dude, you're firing messages to TikTok. TikTok's just not responding to you. That's TikTok's fault. And I kind of believed it because like that's what Facebook was doing to me earlier, and then like it proved to be true that that's what it was doing. And the events didn't show up for like, you know, a good like 45 minutes to an hour. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna trust you, assistant. You know, you're telling me right now that the events aren't going to TikTok right now just because like, you know, they're being flushed and the network is bad. And I was like, okay, fine. So you know, I built everything, I archived it, I sent it to Apple Store Connect. It's been up for review for probably a few hours now, and it'll be reviewed by Thursday. Should be approved. And then I mean, we'll see if the events fire at that point. But at this point, like, I already X'd out of the Xcode build. Like, there's not a lot of ways that I could check to make sure that the events are firing properly, but I guarantee they are. And if they aren't, like, there's nothing stopping me from just turning around after the app gets approved for the first time and, you know, working on the, you know, custom events and everything for the TikTok side specifically. So I think everything's good. You know, I mean, my first priority was never to run TikTok ads to begin with. It was always Facebook Meta ads. So at least I got that fully set up, and I can count on those until, you know, I get TikTok fully figured out for the most part. But I'm not stopping short anytime soon. Like, dude, literally, I've gotten this far. It's been 83 days since the 10th of December, and I'm still going. It's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks straight since the beginning of 2026 that I've been doing this. And I'm not stopping. There's nothing like, why would I stop? You know, like I can feel myself getting burnt out because over the past 3 days, 4 days, I've been constantly like depriving myself of dopamine because I've been like working from sun up to sundown on my schoolwork. But I got that finished. I decided, you know what? Dude, just give me a little bit of a break. I need to like reset a little bit. And that's exactly what I have this for. Reset, that's a goal. I got the app promotion campaigns checked off. Now I got the reset. I need to check that off. So my way of resetting is taking aligned action, not forcing myself to believe I'm somebody I'm not, right? What I noticed is recently, like I've been trying to manifest. Manifestation is the key to success. But in that process, what I was always doing was I was convincing myself, I was trying to convince myself by telling myself, like, I am a millionaire. I am successful. I made a job for myself. I am making $1,000 a month. I am making whatever. I try to convince myself by telling myself I am when I just mentally, my subconscious would not accept it. It would not believe it. And so I was, you know, as silly as it sounds, I was talking to ChatGPT because I needed to figure this out. You know, sitting in my thoughts was not the right idea. So I talked to ChatGPT and it was like, belief is obviously, like it said this, quote, belief is not built by convincing, it's built by evidence. And I thought, again, like, dude, ChatGPT prevails. Like, that was what I needed to hear, you know? And it's like, dude, don't try to force yourself, I'm a millionaire. Don't try to do that. What you need to do is you need to take aligned action. You need to give yourself evidence every day to prove that you are already living that life and you are already that version of yourself today. And that's so true. When you build evidence, like, for example, 83 days of work, you know, 64 days of posting on this channel, you know, hundreds of TikTok and Instagram personal brand videos, you know, hundreds of rejections, 6 Apple rejections, 2-week-long rejection process, app approved on the App Store, you know, app promotion campaigns dealt with, Talking to my dad to get the phone number, the landline going in, doing all this extra stuff so that I can go the full length. Done that. First creator signed, promoting videos. Done that. Like, that's the type of stuff that I need to just compound on itself to convince myself. I shouldn't just sit here writing on my journal being like, oh, it's time to manifest again, and telling myself that I am something that my subconscious is never going to believe, So as much as I want to look at that fake bank account on my phone, or as much as I want to, which I don't, as much as I want to write down in that journal, like, I am this, I am that, I am so grateful, I'm so happy that, like, as much as I want to do that, the way to convince myself, the way to believe I'm the version of myself that makes me successful is by giving myself evidence to prove that. Like, me right now, what I would want to do is I just I do the work that I need to do. I put in my work, put in my deep work, take the timeline and move the needle from here to here every single day. But I would never think like, okay, maybe you should go out and like sit down with your laptop at a restaurant for lunch and like work on your laptop at lunch, you know? But honestly, when I envision my future identity being successful, I see myself doing that. I see myself with a hoodie on, with, headphones or AirPods in, with my black laptop, MacBook Air, and I see myself playing some music in my headphones or listening to a podcast while I have my journal open on the table and the food is coming to me. And at the same time, I'm making sure that all my things are correct on my computer. I see myself doing that. And so I told myself today, I was like, okay, what is like ways that I could take aligned action, to prove to myself and give myself evidence that I'm already living that life and I'm already that version of myself. And so I said, okay, well, I'd probably leave for lunch a little bit earlier and I'd probably go sit down somewhere with my laptop and I'd probably have headphones in and I'd probably sit somewhere a little bit more private in that area of eating, and I'd just sit down and I'd work for a second, I just embrace that for what it is. And I'd have my spots that I'd go to every day for lunch that I would take advantage of. And I'm not going to go sit down for lunch for an hour and pay $30 to eat food every single day so I can work for like 45 minutes. But because I am going to work tomorrow again, because I am giving myself that hour during lunch, I might as well. It's taking aligned action. Another thing I said, taking aligned action, waking up early every day so I can give myself more time in the day to do what I know I need to do. Like, I have so many priorities, which I don't have as many now because I finished all my classes, really no schoolwork until Sunday. My girlfriend's like crazy busy with soccer right now, so I haven't seen her in like 3 days. And my parents are out of town, so it's literally just me and Knox here. And like, work is really not that hard. Like, I have more time to focus on myself, so I don't need to wake up earlier. But I think that that version of myself would wake up semi early, regardless of work. 9 a.m., 8 a.m. Black rooms, get in the shower, be happy. That's what I think I would do. Also, I just made $100 today, basically doing nothing, and it looks like I'm working tomorrow, probably through lunch too. So I'll make another 100, and I think that's a reason to give myself like headphones. Like, I have headphones, but AirPods, because I don't want to like be out in public, be in the office working and have like full on AirPod Maxes on. Like, those are amazing. They sound so amazing, but like, I need AirPods I can put in my ear, when I'm in a restaurant working, or when I'm in a setting where I'm like in a setting of people, but I'm trying to work. And so I think with this money that I'll be making, I have $2,000 in the bank account right now. So I think that it would be a good investment as long as I keep them and keep track of them to invest in some AirPods. So I might do that as long as they don't cost $250. Because I've lost like 8 pairs in my whole career of buying AirPods, probably over $1,000, closer to $1,500 in AirPods, just completely gone, lost. So that sucks. But I'm gonna try to do my best to keep them. I'm gonna try to do my best to take advantage of them and really use the money that I bought them for, value them. But yeah, I have $2,000 in my bank account. I have 1,500 in my main account, and I have 500 that I just transferred to my Chase account. And I'm currently actively making more money every single day, so that's amazing. But making content like this is what I should be doing. This is more aligned action, more evidence to myself that I can look back on and tell myself, this day I did that, this day I did this day I did those things. you know, and like just seeing the number 64 and like, you know, more and more as time goes on reminds me exactly like the evidence that I've put in from now to then that, you know, allows me to believe that I'm where I need to be. So me posting these videos every day, me looking back at them and proving to myself that I have come a long way and that I have built momentum and that, you know, I have evidence to prove that I am that version of myself that I am meant to be already is exactly what I need to do. So not only will I be posting these videos every day like I always have, but TikTok videos, Instagram videos, filming those does not take much time. It really doesn't. I don't care if I don't post a single video today and I post one video tomorrow and I don't post another video for 2 days. The idea is I am not forcing myself to post. And I'm just genuinely posting when I want to post, when I have a thought in my mind and I think it's a good time to make a video. And I'm not like neutering myself to think that, oh, you only need to post like 30-second motivational clips and like you need to put a good audio and you need to put text at the top of the screen. Like, no, I'm just like, whenever I have a thought, might as well pull my phone out, maybe fix my hair a little bit and just speak to the camera. Because I'm telling you right now, being authentic and being like, and actually wanting to do it and being consistent is a million times better than putting all your effort in every single day to making a crazy video and seeing it flop and, you know, not being authentic. Like, I'm just going to pull my phone out seriously at lunch tomorrow or tomorrow evening, just randomly, and probably tonight if I work out, like after I work out, I'll just pull on my phone and make a quick video and be authentic. And as long as, you know, I look decent in the video, might as well post it. You know, I'm not like keeping all the videos on my account like super like limited. Like, why would I? You know, I want to have 1,000 posts by the end of March on my account. Screw it, you know. So I think that's another reason. I was just looking back at my TikTok and I was like, okay, dang, like I'm speaking facts in this video. Or like, dang, like this was not that long ago and I was like in it. I was literally invested and this is literally me and like people are commenting on it. And like it has like 50 likes. 50 likes. And I'm like consistently growing that personal brand. Like I posted 3 videos in the past week and I've grown like 8 followers, which is kind of good in my opinion. Like we're at 92 followers. So, and again, this whole thing, you can look back at day 2, this whole thing started with my personal brand. It started by posting videos. In my mind, when I was posting videos, I said, I am never going to be that teenager, that kid that starts a TikTok, starts an Instagram, and just ghosts it after like a month. Like I'm never going to be that kid. I don't want to be that kid that like starts something like that, like something visibly in front of everybody and fails. And in a way I did, I'm not gonna lie, but it hasn't been that long since I stopped. And now that I have a separate reason to post and I'm not trying to be super performative, I think that it wouldn't be a bad idea to start back up again and it would revive that part of myself. And you know, I might as well be able to prove that I didn't give up and that I made that part of my business successful. You know, I'm always going to be searching for a better personal brand, for a better identity outside of myself to other people. You know, I don't want to have to like look back when I'm like making 50K a month and be like, okay, now I need to start a personal brand. Because in reality, making a personal brand and like growing it to a lot of people, there's no shortcutting that. You just need to post and be authentic, as consistent as possible. You know, there's no amount of money that can really just create a valuable personal brand for you. So me starting now is just cutting that timeline in half, and me continuing to do it is doing that again. So anyways, day 64, me shot day 65, should be like 13 days, 12 days until my parents get back. So what's that, 10 days from now would be 74, would be about 75, maybe even 80. So yeah, peace out.